point to the logo on my chest and tell them, Slam D, Ego, Slam D, Ego, Slam D, Ego, Slam D, hey. Hit it up hard, hit it with a strike. From the national anthem to the bottom of the night. I'm in Slam D, Ego, Slam D, Ego, Slam D, Ego, Slam D, hey. You already know what's up. What's that? Another home run. We should know the job ain't done till we hold that trophy up. Hey.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Talking Friars here. I know it's late here on this. What is today? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, right? Yep. Tuesday night. Apologies for going live here late. I was not planning to go live at this time. I'll just say some things happened, and so it delayed some stuff. But thank you for joining. I'm sure a lot of you are watching this on replay or listening to this on the podcast, probably on Wednesday. I appreciate you for doing so. Just right off the bat, I will say I haven't read articles coming off of this A.J. Preller news conference. So the Kevin A.C. stuff, maybe I'll react to that on Wednesday in another show or another video, something, if there's something that stands out to me. I'm just going off of what I heard on my drive home, A.J. Preller's press conference and what he told the media. I will get to the chat, obviously. Hopefully this process of this show is fine because my cursor's not working, so I have to do the touchpad here. But let's try it. So AJ, he spoke to the media today around 10 a.m. and was asked questions about Ethan Salas, was asked questions about Mason Miller, that sort of stuff. Don't know how interested Padres fans really are in that. Obviously, the main thing is AJ's future, but I feel like he's going to be staying. Really, obviously, Mike Shildt and the departure there was everything fine, and it really is a health thing. Was it really burnout? And that's what A.J. Preller essentially said today. That yeah, it was burnout, and A.J. even said that him and Shildt were due to have lunch later in the day. So seems like Shilt's in San Diego. At least he was earlier today, and the relationship is good enough to have lunch. Bob Melvin and A.J. Preller probably don't even want to look at each other eye to eye ever again. They don't want to be in the same space, the same room, even if they're in different corners of the room. So to me, that's where, and obviously Shildt, like, I don't think that this guy's a liar. And Dennis Lin, this was after my show yesterday. He came out saying that Mike dealt with death threats from, I think, from fans. Maybe it was people online. I don't know. Strangers. Chest pains, hair loss. Like, he wasn't sleeping. He was sick. That's pretty clear. Like, something was going on there, and it was rough. And I wasn't listening to Gwynn and Chris when Tony Gwynn Jr. told this story, but I did go back and listen today about how after the Padres were eliminated against the Cubs, Tony Gwynn Jr., Jesse Agler, and Tony's wife were out getting a bite to eat. They were walking the streets of Chicago, and Mike Shildt was walking the streets of Chicago by himself, and he was just done. And he was so out of it that he didn't even notice that Tony Gwynn Jr. and Jesse and Tony's wife were walking up on him until they were like right there. And then he snapped out of it, according to Tony, and was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" So this guy, he was done. He was not in a good place, is what it seems like. And A.J. Preller did not comment. He didn't comment when asked today about, was there any financial thing here? Did Shildt totally walk away from the money? Was there any financial agreement to give him some of the money? He did not comment on that. But that, what he could have done would have just been like, yep, he walked away from it. It was that bad. Yep, he walked away from it. When asked about the whole, maybe an advisory role, he mentioned that the message from Shildt was just like, yeah, I need a break. I'm done. If I was A.J. Preller, to make it like obvious that the relationship is good, now you could argue he did that when he told the media, told the world that they were having lunch later in the day. But what he could have done was say, I offered him to stay on as an advisor, to go back into the role that he was before he was the manager, and he didn't take it. And we respect his decision. His health is the most important thing. He's welcome back anytime. Could have said that, but he went the route of, no, this, Shildt, he was done. He needed a break. So you could take something from that and spin it if you want to. Personally, me, I'm done. I know yesterday I went down the roads that people can go down about, like, did something actually happen here that we don't know about? But from the reporting, Dennis Lin, Kevin, Shildt talking to those guys, his letter, A.J. Preller's comments today, for the most part, were like, yeah, let's not read into this anymore. The guy was burnt out, and we should be applauding Mike Shildt for making the decision that he made, because that's a tough thing to do. I don't know if I would have been able to do that. If I was the manager of the Padres, a contending team, and I'm going to walk away from 2 years, 2 cracks at the apple of winning a World Series as a manager and becoming a legend forever in the city. It's not really about that, but it's more about, like, winning a World Series. That would be tough. That would be tough to walk away from, but he did it. And so I do give him credit for that. I give props to him for that. Shildt did say, or not Shildt, Preller did say that Shildt told him, like, part of, I'm not quoting AJ, but I think what he said was essentially part of why it was hard for him to walk away was because of the relationship that he had with AJ Preller. And for AJ to say that obviously wasn't going to be said about Bob Melvin publicly. So that there is another thing where it's like, maybe let's just believe Mike Shildt. Guy getting death threats, the hair loss, the chest pain, he just didn't have it in him. How about let's just believe the guy? And I've had one interaction with him. I talked about it yesterday on the show about me at the winter meetings talking with him. The guy seems like a great human being, down to earth, kind of like a grandpa, if you will. I don't have a reason to be like, yeah, he's lying. And why would he say publicly that he walked away and he has no, everything's good, if he actually didn't? Because if I was Mike Shildt, for, like, future jobs, for other teams to know, I still want to do this. I didn't walk away from this. Because now, him walking away, if other teams want to hire him, they're going to be like, well, he just walked away from that. Is he really all in? Is he really going to be all in on this? Right? But no, there wasn't. I would push back part of it. You got millions of dollars on the table for the next couple of years, and there hasn't been that pushback. So how about we just believe? I know a lot of people like to speculate, and they're like, no, there's got to be something to it. There's got to be something more. No, how about we just believe Mike Shildt? How about we do that? I'm tired of the speculation. It's just sad. It's sad, the situation that happened here. So that's how I feel on that. I'm going to go through, credit to 97.3 The Fan. They tweet out, some of these comments and things that happened. And so it allows me to go through anything that maybe I missed or something that I wanted to hit on here about what AJ said. Let's see here. Anything that stands out. AJ Preller says that he was surprised but not shocked when Shildt told him about his intentions to retire. After Mike took some time to recharge after the season, he informed the Padres on Saturday. AJ did not say he was aware of any internal conflict contributing to this. What I will say, like I said yesterday, the mental stuff with Shildt and the stress and all that, like, I would think AJ Preller played a role in that. I'm not saying AJ's the reason why Mike Shildt's walking away. Not at all. But AJ Preller had to have played some sort of role in that. When AJ Preller is on constantly, the guy does not stop. That has to take a toll on everyone who has a close relationship with AJ. And Mike Shildt is a baseball rat. Like any manager in baseball, where I'm like, who loves the game of baseball the most out of all managers in baseball? Like, I know Aaron Boone has the history and all that, but like Mike Shildt, I don't know who Mike Shildt's NFL team is. Like, I know Aaron Boone, he's an Eagles fan. With Shildt, like, I don't know much about him other than baseball. I know where he's from, but like, this guy's a baseball guy. So, yeah, for him to walk away like this, AJ's a baseball guy too, obviously, and it seems like the relationship is still good from what we're hearing. So that's great, and I hope that Shildt comes back in some sort of an advisory role when the time is right. And I hope he doesn't manage again. Not just because selfishly, because I think he's a good manager. I don't want him managing another team. Not really because of that reason. More because I don't want him managing again for his personal health. Because maybe it would be better with another general manager. But still, being in that manager chair, talking to the media twice a day, having expectations on you, having that stress on you, having you be questioned by people that aren't in your seat like every day, whenever anything goes wrong. Like that, the road trips, the off days that aren't really off days because you're the manager of a Major League Baseball team. Spring training, those days, like the winter meetings, the GM meetings, it's gonna take a toll on you. You don't really get time off. It's go, 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 go. Regardless of what organization you're in. If you're doing it right, it's probably go, 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 go. So again, I give props to him for making this tough decision. I just hope he doesn't manage again. Because clearly it has a negative effect on him personally with his health, and I don't want that for him. Selfishly, I want him to come back to the Padres in some role, but if it's for another organization in another smaller role, I'll be happy for him too. I don't care what, as long as it's not the Dodgers. But like, really, even if it was, I want the guy to be happy. And clearly, he was going to enjoy some stuff in the job, obviously, but clearly he was done. And so I'm happy that he is stepping away. A.J. Preller, again, his contract situation, he was saying that this is going to be between him and ownership, so he wasn't really commenting on that. For me, I think it's pretty simple. An extension's going to be worked out. If you're letting the guy run a manager search, this next manager's not signing a one-year contract. Right? So now you're entering the situation again where Shildt was, where he had a longer contract than A.J. did. So that doesn't, what might happen is they hire a manager, they give him a contract, and then they'll extend A.J. to whatever that manager's contract is. That seems like that makes sense. Maybe A.J. wants 5 years, not 3. But who knows? To me, it just makes sense to line up the GM and the manager, not to have the manager have a longer contract than the guy that puts the roster together. A.J. Preller also said that the search will begin today in terms of putting a list of candidates together. There's no deadline to find a new manager. Obviously, we knew that answer was going to be coming. As for him starting a list today, I don't believe that. I'm sorry. If you believe that, I don't know what to tell you. It's A.J. Preller. He was told on Saturday. You think he's going to waste all of Sunday, all of Monday? What's today? Tuesday? He's going to waste all of those days not putting a list together. He probably already had a list because the guy has plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. He has so many plans on certain things that could happen that may never happen. But he has, I wonder what his iPhone notes looks like. What does his Google Drive look like? What is does he take handwritten notes in his office? Like, what does that look like about all these plans? Does he have a whiteboard at his house writing stuff down? Like, what does this look like? Because the guy doesn't stop. The only time he stops is when he plays basketball. That's literally what we've heard. So I don't believe for 1 second that he didn't already have a list of names. The guy already has a list of names. Maybe he's adding to them. Maybe this is the first time that he's going to be consulting with other people in the organization, people in the building earlier today about possible names. But I don't see how he didn't have a list. Come on. Of course he does. He talked about how much he loves San Diego. Obviously, he's going to say that. I think he does as well. And I think ultimately he wants to go win a World Series for San Diego. Like, when you spend this long in an organization, you're going to develop a love for the city, a love for the players, the org, the fan base. Like, you're going to want to win really badly. Like, this is your team. This is your city now. You know, he's a San Diegan. So, yeah, of course, he's going to be connected to the city and really want to win. I don't think he wants to go somewhere else and win. Maybe the Yankees, like as the only team because he grew up a Yankee fan. But at this point, when you're this dug into the Padres, he's dug in. He did talk about the internal candidates, the team having great coaches on the staff. Internally, we've already talked about certain candidates, Brian Esposito, maybe Ben Fritz, Ruben Yeblek for sure will get an interview. Other people in the org, A.J. Ellis, I would think, would get one. Mark Loretta, I don't know about that one, but we'll see. Am I brain farting on anyone else? I don't think. Maybe they'd interview David Macias. I don't think Tim Leeper. I think he's good as a third base coach and energy, enthusiasm. Yeah. Ruben obviously is the big one. And he's the one where it's like, all right, if you want to have a safe hire, maybe people would think of safe as someone that's managed before in the big leagues. But I don't really, if they hire Ruben Niebla, I'm not going to think of this as, oh, they're hiring a first-time manager. This guy is in the clubhouse. He's on the flights. He's in the hotel. He's in the game planning meetings. During the game, he is right next to Mike Shildt, helping make decisions. You think Mike Shildt is only the only one deciding when to pull a pitcher? Or what does this guy's stuff look like? And he's not consulting with Ruben. And Ruben isn't taking in any information on how Mike Shilt's doing his job. Like, come on, of course he is. So, like, he would have the credibility. Like, I've heard no negative things about Ruben Niebla from players. So when you're talking about a safe hire, internal hire, like Ruben would fit that. Brian Esposito would probably fit that. I don't know as much about him, but I would think he would fit that. He's right there, obviously, and he took over when Shildt got ejected. So we'll see what happens with that. External candidates, I think you still have to go interview external candidates for sure. Give Boch a call, give David Ross a call. Maybe there's more. Rocco. I'm not super high on Brandon Hyde, but like, make your calls. I don't think Bud Black would happen. But I did see a picture the other day of Preller and Bud Black laughing during BP, so maybe that relationship's actually fine, and they've moved on. Anything else here? AJ, anxious to speak with external candidates to get fresh perspectives on the team and the organization. That's also true. Maybe like, I have a strong feeling I want to hire Ruben Niebla. But, of course, I'm going to take the opportunity to hire or to talk to other people that are not in the organization to get their thoughts on the organization. What do you think about our organization from the outside? Do you think it's chaotic? Because if you're getting outside perspectives that it's chaotic, maybe that allows you to look yourself in the mirror a little bit. And you can find a way to get better and not just internalize everything. Because if you only limit this to internal people, are you getting the best pool? Like, it would be one thing if it's the Dodgers and like Dave Roberts retired and they got to find someone else and they make an internal and they only keep it internal. They just won a World Series. Like, it's working. The Padres, I'm not saying it's all coaches' faults, but not everything's working. Players got to be better. It seems like the culture was good with Shildt. So maybe that's where they're like, no, everything actually is good. Like, as much as it can be good, it is good. We can't control what the players do on the field. But like the bottom line is they haven't made it to a World Series. They didn't make it to an NLCS under Shildt. So something can change. Something maybe could get better. What is that? I don't really know, but it doesn't hurt to actually it hurts to limit yourself to internal candidates. As for Mason Miller, don't really know about his role yet. AJ mentioned he has talked with Yu Darvish over the past week. Dialogue will continue. AJ mentioned Darvish wasn't 100% during spring training and into the regular season, and there will be more discussions about his future moving forward. I did see someone kind of joke, Ruben Niebla for manager, and then you have Yu Darvish retire and become the pitching coach. I mean, it's not going to happen, but Darvish as a pitching coach, he already is, sort of. Him as a pitching coach, yeah, sign me up. Ethan Salas, he's doing well, beginning baseball activities. No setback with him. It's just they want to focus long term, the next decade of Ethan Salas, and not rush him back. So it's not a no on off-season leagues for him to play in, is what AJ was saying, but they want to be cautious with it. AJ did not definitely say that Morejon will remain in the bullpen. Conversations will be had about his role moving forward. For me, with Mason Miller and Adrian Morejon, that them moving to the rotation would be a, oh crap, our plan didn't go the way that we wanted it to in the offseason. So we need to fill the rotation somehow. So let's bring up relievers from El Paso, put them in the bullpen, or San Antonio, and let's put these guys into the rotation. Mason Miller, let's do it with the gas and the amount of innings that he could give, more than what he would give in the bullpen. And Adrian Morejon, you've done it before. You pitched amazing last year. Let's give it another try. I want them in the bullpen. If the Padres offense did something in this postseason, if they did more than what they did and they won this wild card series, I would have felt pretty darn confident. Like, as long as the offense performs, the Padres can go win the World Series. And a big reason why is because of the bullpen. I don't want that reason or the strength for the Padres, their biggest strength, which is the bullpen. I don't want that to be compromised so that you can make the rotation better. Because the big problem is the lineup. The big problem to me is not the rotation. There's issues, but the bigger issue is the offense. I'd like to keep the strength, and the biggest strength they have is the bullpen. Anything else? Talked about Campy. Campy dominated AAA. Will be in the mix next year for the Padres. He did essentially say, like, Campy's always on their radar, but, like, maybe he's a backup next year, but it just seems like for Campy, like, I want to see him do well. I like how honest he is with the media, and he's just going to be him. He wasn't really keeping up with the major league team because he was just doing his thing down there in the minors, and I actually appreciate that. Like, just control what you can control. For me with him, like, I want to see him go do well, and he's not going to get those. He's not getting those opportunities with the Padres. So if they're not challenging you, if they're not giving you that opportunity, another organization will give you that opportunity, I think. Maybe it's a bad team, but at least you'll get the opportunity. So is this a situation where he would go to the Padres and be like, I'm doing this, I'm raking in the minors. I had a really good year, as he told the media. Like, I don't know what else you want me to do. I want to, while I'm young like this, I want to be able to go prove myself and my dream is the big leagues, and I want to go help a team win, and I'm not being given that opportunity here. As much as I'd like to help the Padres win, I'm just not being given that opportunity. So can you please try to find another spot for me? Get what you can back in a deal, but can you please find another spot for me? Would Campy do that? I don't know. I don't know how much they get back for him, but they would get something back. I just don't. I don't like that they're kind of just stashing him down there in AAA, and then he comes up and they don't trust him to catch. That's for sure. And so he's used as this DH option, but they're going to go with the major league vet to DH for the most part over Campy anyway. So it's not like he's an everyday DH. It's a little weird. But yeah, that's what AJ said today. Again, I'll read articles, I'll read up, and maybe I'll do something tomorrow about anything that I read or if anything else comes out about this. But AJ's running this main takeaway from today that I believe that Shildt, yeah, he was burnt out. I'm not speculating anymore about was there actually something up with this. Other than that, there wasn't a ton. I don't think that we should have expected much out of this. And a lot of the talk was like, exactly, speculation. That's what a lot of the talk was. And it's not like AJ was going to add fuel to that. No. So, yeah. Shout out to the great partners of this show, Gaglione Bros, famous cheesesteaks and garlic fries. Their main location is on Friars Road. Check them out. Full menu, address, all that good stuff. Link in the description. Great cheesesteaks, garlic fries. I could really use that right now. I'm pretty hungry. But yeah, go check them out. Breaking Tea, Padres and Aztecs shirts and sweatshirts. Click the link in the description for that. Unfortunately, not going to be more Padres shirts being made at the moment because there's no moments to be commemorating right now. Other than Mike Shildt retiring, but they're not going to be making anything about that. SeatGeek code Talking Friars, $20 off your first order when you sign up with your email address. Not just Padres games, concerts, other sporting events. Please use that to your advantage. Even Dodger fans, I don't care. If you want to use the code, go ahead. Have fun. Hopefully your team loses when you go to that game. Dodgers did win today. Didn't really watch. Wasn't totally locked in on that. But that sucks. All right. Was it 5-1? Okay. Let's see here in the comments. Those that are here after 10 o'clock at night, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Irie says, I would like someone to track how many times AJ says again in an interview. Yeah, that's definitely one of his go-to words for sure. Someone asks a question, and it could be the first question. And he'll be like, yeah, well, and again, I think this is the situation. Yeah. He said again a lot, for sure. Pujols to San Diego? I don't think so. If he's going to go anywhere, it'd be the Angels. Now, if the Padres offered him, would he rather go to the Angels or the Padres? I would think you'd rather go to the Padres. But Albert didn't play for the Padres. He played for the Dodgers, and he played, obviously, St. Louis, played for the Angels as well. He's been at spring training there. Obviously close with some of those players, right? Relationship with Trout. I'm sure he has a relationship with some of these Padres players, but I don't think that will happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they ask to interview Yadier Molina, ask to interview Albert Pujols, because why not? But I don't think that's what's going to be happening here, them hiring them. Someone asked, if we were to let AJ go, who would be available at that time? Exactly. That's a good question. Because people would bring up like Theo Epstein, and I'm like, he's part of the Red Sox ownership group, I'm pretty sure, the Fenway Sports Group. And I think he's done with running clubs. I think he wants to run. I mean, he has a passion for the Red Sox, obviously, and, what he did there. There's nothing for him to do. The guy's one of the best executives of all time. With what he did with the Red Sox and then the Cubs, like 2 curses that he broke. And like doing it in San Diego, would it be maybe it's appealing to him, but I don't know. AJ knows this organization better than anybody you're going to bring in. Irie says, I would say, AJ, get us to the World Series next year, win or lose, and we will provide you whatever you need next year. But if you don't make it, best of luck. Well, the problem with that is to get to the World Series, part of it is like it's a team effort. So you're going to need ownership to give you whatever you need to go succeed, right? So if you're ownership, you're not going to be like, yeah, we're going to give you 80% of what we'll give you. We want you to go to the World Series first, and then we'll give you everything. That's not how that works. Or that's not how it should work. Hi, Jordy. All right, let's see. Promote Ruben, retain AJ, wait for the new CBA, then evaluate again. Oh, haven't heard this one before. When is the Padres' second seed wild card parade? Good one. Leon from Germany. Hi, Ben. Greetings from Germany. Pretty sad about the Shildt retirement. I am too. It's just sad. The whole situation's sad. The health situation, the death threats. If you're a Padres fan and you really gave death threats to Mike Shildt, whether that's in person, online, I don't care. I don't want you I don't want you affiliated with this fan base. I don't want you a part. Go be a Dodger fan. Go root for another team. Go do something better with your life. Like, come on. What are we doing? The other stuff, like the chest pain, the stress, the lack of sleep, yeah, that sucks as well, for sure. You don't want someone going through that. And again, I'm just happy that he was able to make this decision, because some people wouldn't, and they'd keep going because it's going to happen once. You're not getting this back. You can't get this moment back. And so people would have kept going. Some people, they would have kept going, and they would have driven themselves crazy. And what's a couple $1 million if you're dead? Or, your health is in a spot where you can't recover. Right? So props to him. Good for him. All right. That's going to do it for me. Thank you, everyone, for the time. I'll probably do something on Wednesday after reading some stuff that I haven't read yet. But sorry, long day. Some stuff happened and didn't have the opportunity to do it. But did want to put something out here on AJ's comments. In full trust in what's the saying? In AJ we trust. I'm a part of that group for sure. And yeah, we'll see where this goes.